Hey there, I'm Steve, and I wanted to welcome you to the channel. I have recently come across something that dropped into my lap unexpectedly yesterday. And as a part of this process of getting my YouTube channel started, there's a lot of different elements that go together, different pieces of software, different pieces of hardware. But one of those things that I use really frequently is music on the backgrounds of my videos, especially my travel videos. And honestly, it's been quite a trial trying to figure that part out over the last couple months because I've been testing out different services and trying to see which one fits with the right music, fits with the right styles that I want, with availability, that has a good selection of the music that I listen to and use in my videos. And they had to also have a few other features that I realized I wanted after I started playing around with a bunch of the different services. I originally started with Epidemic sound, and then I went and tried audio and a bunch of other ones. I mean, I don't even remember the names of some of them because I used so many different ones. Artlist, that was another one I used. And through this process, I've kind of found out that I had a few things that I kind of wanted out of a music service. One of them was a good selection of music and styles that I use. I do a lot of drone video, and I'll do a lot of video doing travel log type videos going through different locations, and the style of music I want with that varies from site to site. But it seems that when I was searching on many sites, for example, we went to Scotland and I did a whole bunch of videos from Scotland. I wanted Celtic music, Scottish music, that type of thing. And really, Epidemic Sound was the only one that had any really good music that kind of fit that vibe and had a list of them to choose from versus some of them they had two. And part of it may have been I didn't know how to search their site specifically, but I was trying to just be simple to find something I wanted. And it was a little challenging, we'll say. But I also, one of the features I found when I was doing these searches is that some of them have the ability to do similar searches. So whenever I found a certain track that I thought kind of fit but wasn't quite what I was looking for, you could do a similar search. And I'll show you how I do that here in just a moment. But then they also have the ability to cut those down, to make loops out of them. And then another thing I didn't know I wanted, which I found, is that some of them actually have plugins for DaVinci Resolve Studio. And I've started playing around with that. And that's really amazing to have that in the tool you use to do your editing. And then finally, it needs to be affordable. And in my situation now, which I didn't realize when I first started this journey, is I needed something that would support the ability for me to have multiple channels using the same service if possible. So in the end, what happened is I chose Epidemic Sound because it seemed to fit all those areas of things I needed at an affordable price, and I decided to jump in and did that. In fact, about 5 days ago, I signed up for a year and said, I'm going all in with Epidemic Sound. Then yesterday, I get an email that the Black Friday sale started for Epidemic Sound. It's like, are you kidding me? Really? I just committed to a full year. You could have known about this ahead of time. I would have used it myself. So in that thought, I said, well, let me at least share what they sent to me with you. And if you want to use it, this is a great time to do it because they have a code. I'll put a link in the bottom that basically you go to the link and then you enter a code. Using my link helps with this channel. You're welcome to use that. I would appreciate it if you do, but you don't have to. But when you go and click that link below and then type in the code CyberWeek50, you will get the following. You'll get a free trial. You'll get 2 months at 50% off. And this works for both the personal and the commercial plans. So it's a pretty good deal considering I didn't get that deal. So I want to pass it along to you and give you the opportunity to do that. So give you a little bit more on how this works, let me bring up Epidemic Sound and just show you a little bit of how I've been using it and what I found works well for me. So one moment here, let's pull that up. So here we are in my Epidemic Sound login page with the Discover page is what comes up first. And what it typically does, if you've already set up your channels in Epidemic Sound, because what you have to do is you do need to tell Epidemic Sound which channels or social media profiles you're going to be using it with, so that they can make sure that it's on a clear list so that you don't have any copyright strikes go against any of the music you paste in your videos or in your projects. So once you've done that, in this case, I'm on the commercial plan. It allows you to do up to 3 YouTube profiles. I have 2 currently, and that's what you see here. But when you get to the Discover Profile page, it'll show you, based on your channel, some things that might actually fit for your style of videos. So it gives a couple suggestions right off the bat of saying, hey, you might enjoy using one of these sound bites in your videos. Further down a little bit below, it also, based on what you've already downloaded before, it does give another additional suggestions along the way so you can see what options are available. And then finally, there are themes and feature playlists that get added and staff picks of things that are more recent that have been added recently that you might actually enjoy, and so on. The few things I wanted to show you on how this works is when you are doing a search or you're looking at this music, there are several options you can choose while you're listening to the music. You can play the track itself. And let me get clicked on this window. So you can click on this play button and it'll load the music launcher down here at the bottom so you can play the music. I will go ahead and play this first one because I can add this one to this video. It'll count on this video because it'll be playing music loudly. Turn this down because that is really loud. So it gives you a good sample, so you get a feel for how it works and how it sounds, and whether or not this is going to work for you or not. One of the neat features, let me turn this down a little bit more. One of the neat features here is that you can go down to this bottom bar where the player is playing, and you can listen to individual pieces of the track and maybe only use parts of it. So if you just want to listen to the melody, so here we have the melody sound coming out, and just the instruments, or what they call instruments. Then we get the bass line. I'm a bass guy, so I always like the bass line, although my speakers don't handle this bass very good. And then the drum track. So you can take each of those individual elements if you like. These are called stems, or just listen to the full mix and use that. Now, if you find that you really like this piece of music, but you're not quite sure yet if this will fit your project, so we'll say, for example, I want to save this so I can come back and look at this later, you can go and mark it as a like, and then it'll add it to a like list, and then you can go back and review those later on. Because I have found that when you start going through the music, I get deep into the music process, looking for something. I go deeper and deeper and deeper, and then I realize, wait a second, the 4th song I listened to is one that actually sounded what I was like looking for. So this allows me to tag a whole bunch of things, keep digging further down into the well and rabbit trail without losing track of things that I think are actually a good fit. You can also save this to a playlist. And when you click on this, you can get to create a new playlist. Say, for example, we're creating, since I mentioned earlier, a Scotland trip, we'll say new playlist, Scotland. Save. There it is. Okay. Now we have a Scotland playlist. So there's how you do that. And then if you wanted to go straight up and download it, you click this button, it'll download it to your computer. And you can either choose the full mix, you get to choose one of the stems if you want to get all stems, so that way you can adjust the levels on your end separate. That's basically giving you a separate options for each one of them, so you can have all the different tracks and different layers. And then you get to choose which format you want. I choose MP3 as the default. The option here is that you can copy the link, so you can just have a link to the music in case you wanted to save it for later to come back to it and take a listen. A few other features that you can create another version of this for yourself to use. So if you click on this, it's going to take you to a screen that gives you a breakdown of the track so you can start selecting pieces of it. For example, if you were just interested in, say, the beginning right where the music kicks in, and this is the only part you want, you can hit play selection. Now it picks up right at that section and goes to to a 31-second area. If you think that's something I want to use potentially, then you can do that. Or you can go in here and tell it I want 30 seconds. What it's doing is it's generating a couple different versions of that selection for you to be able to use. And these are going to be versions that are they're kind of a mix of what you already have from the original song. So here I did a 15-second, or it looks like it's 16 seconds version of it. We play that, and it's created a mix that kind of fits that 16-second window for you that is cohesive and then kind of works together. So it's a neat way to go through and customize what you're getting music-wise in case you wanted just elements and bits and pieces of the song instead of the whole song. And you don't have to go edit it in your own software. So it's kind of a nice way to play around with things. I've used that a few times to grab a smaller segment of the song without having to download the entire song and do the edits myself. And I had the piece I wanted and I was ready to go. Additionally, you have the ability to do find similar, and this is one of those features I was talking about that I really liked. So I say I like this one, but it's not quite meeting the example of what I want. I can hit find similar, and it will it'll go out and find songs that are very similar to this style, this similar to this theme, and then give you some examples to play with. Here, this is kind of very similar, but it's a different author, a different composer. And it's very similar to the first song we had. And this is how I end up going down rabbit holes. I'll start digging into this and be like, oh wait, that's very close. That's even better. But let's find another similar to one to the second song. And now here I am deeper and deeper into the music. So as you can see, it can be a deep dive once you start really going further and further into the software. So it's really nice to use this. There's a lot of different variations. There's a lot of different things that you can search for. Speaking of searches, let's look at these search options. You can do a search by video. For example, I can go and grab a video from my computer. I want to go to my DJI files. We'll go to Scotland. And let's just grab one of these DJI files. And this is a DJI file that has just a scan of Scotland's countryside. And I'll hit get recommendations, and it's going to go through and analyze your video and then give you several options that may work really well with your selection. So let's just play this first one. And the nice thing is it shows your video down here at the same time while you're playing these, just so you can tell, is this going to fit with what I'm trying to get in a style? It's a little slow for this one. So let's go to the next one. I don't know. Let's go a little further. Not quite what I'm looking for, but you get the idea. One other thing that is really nice is you can see the beats per minute, which gives you a rough idea how fast the music is moving, and the long length of the track. And then you have different elements you can go skimming through this piece. You can also go up here and fine tune your searches to different types of moods, different types of genres, certain lengths. If you're looking for something that's 30 minutes long, apparently they have one here that's 30 minutes long. That would be great for a very long video. Your beats per minute, if you're looking for songs that are mostly 160 and above, okay, we filter that out. Now we have these options. So it's really nice to be able to filter this down and really nail down what it is you're specifically looking for. Okay, so searching, that's one option, is searching by video. Very, very handy way of doing things, but there's more ways to search. You can search, of course, by typing any comment, any thread. So we're looking for Scotland. And with Scotland comes a bunch of different types of music that fit that kind of idea that I may be looking for the Scotland. There's your bagpipes, obviously. Now, you can also tailor and look into these searches a little bit more by doing types of styles. So I want more adventure music, and it'll go in here into the adventure category, and you'll be able to go through and search in that category itself. So again, lots of different ways to discover and to search for music. But the Last way I want to show you searching for music, there is an option that you can actually search using Spotify. If you have a song that you found on Spotify and you want to copy that, or not copy that, but find something very similar to that. So we'll paste in a Spotify link I found. This is for something along the rounds of Scotland, bagpipes. So it goes and finds something similar to the pipes and drums of Leonish, Highland Cathedral. And that's very similar in style to what that was. So it's a neat way to be able to go find music from, if you have a Spotify list that you want to use as a search beginning point. So those are some few ways that you can start looking for music. Because again, for me, the music tends to drive a lot of what I do in my video editing. I get a feel better for what I'm doing, and it helps bring cohesivity to my project so that in the end the music is kind of what's been guiding me. And I'm learning that that's really important to me when I'm doing these travel shots and these travel videos. The one final thing I want to show you is the other piece I didn't know I wanted, which was the plugin for DaVinci Resolve. This is something that is not easily found on their main page. You end up having to find this through their help page. There's several different plugins also available. You can get them for Premiere Pro, After Effects on Audition, but they just recently have put out the one for DaVinci Resolve, and it's great. So let me show you how that works. Okay, here we are in DaVinci Resolve, and I have a project I loaded up just to use as an example that we can play around with. I have muted the audio track temporarily because I already have audio on this actual project. But let's say we wanted to add an additional piece of music to this, and we wanted to maybe match a scene in our video of what we want to add in here. So let's just look here. We'll do the selection. And we have this scene we want to add some music to. So in DaVinci, you have to go up to Workspaces, go down to Workflow Integrations to open the Epidemic Sound plugin. And when you do this, you'll get a window that pops up that's basically a direct connection to your Epidemic Sound account. And here you can go through and immediately search for music and say we want a country song that's, yeah, sure, blues, country blues. So it'll go through here and find us a song that seems to be maybe a good match for that. You hit play, and you can listen to it right there inside the DaVinci. Not quite what I was looking for. Let's go with this one. Okay, that's pretty good. It's kind of fun. That'll fit the theme a little bit. Now, let's say we want to inject that now directly into our timeline. Over here, you have several options. You can create a version of it, find similar, you can keep digging like we already did, but you can append it to your current timeline. And it's going to download that song and pop it into your timeline. Of course, this one is a lot longer than what I was looking for, but it posted it in the same timeline location, and then I can take that and move it in where I want it to be in the video itself. So now we have this here, and we get this, and it's already added. And we didn't have to go to the website and download it and do all that process. So it's all built into DaVinci. It makes it a lot easier to bring in elements. So it's really cool how that works. The other thing, though, you can do is say that's not quite what you were looking for and you wanted to find something else to put in here, but you're not sure what you want to do. You can actually have it make some suggestions based on where you are in the tracks. So we can go back to our search. Let's clear this search. And we want to filter or find music matching the current frame in your timeline. So it's going to look at the frame that you're currently selected and give some suggestions to what may be in that frame. So let's go back a little further and grab this old-timey ice cream churn and then tell it to go search for something that matches that frame. So it does a search, it goes out and finds a few ideas that may fit for that style. Pretty neat. But depending on how well it works, it's just really cool that you can do this directly out of DaVinci. So that was just another toy, another tool that may help you in your process of working with DaVinci Resolve and bringing in music to fit your videos. So again, that was just a quick demonstration of how Epidemic sound has been working for me and a few ways I've used it so far. Um, and also remember that if you want to take advantage of this option, it's available to anybody. Just there's a link below. Just click on that link. It'll take you to Epidemic Sound, and then type in the code CyberWeek50, all one word. I'll put that in the description below. And you get a free trial plus 2 months of 50% off for the both personal and commercial plans. I highly recommend it. I would definitely use it because I am using it. I just wish I was able to take advantage of the code. But since I can't, I'll pass this along to you, and hopefully you're able to do so, and I hope you enjoy it. So I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this, and I hope it's helpful to you. If you have any questions, you can ask them below, and I'd be more than happy to give you as much information as possible that I can about how to use or things in Epidemic Sound if possible. So thanks again for watching, and I will talk to you in the next video.